Pete, thanks so much for joining me on The Local Agent, mate. I'm super excited. It's something I've been looking forward to, and I've been teetering on asking you for a couple of weeks, to be honest. Great. So I know we have good chats in the office and our work functions as well, and I just thought, you're a wealth of knowledge, and it would be good for me to be able to just pick your brain, and I'm sure people are going to learn something from it as well.
Thank you, mate.
So thanks for coming on, and look, I know that we've got good conversations, even around just prospecting, bits and pieces and nuggets of gold I've picked up off you. You gave me a book to read as well, which I read. Who Stole My Cheese?
Yeah.
So I read that. That was brilliant.
That was good.
So yeah, just want to dive into, firstly, obviously, how you even got into real estate. Who's Pete Costigan? And give us a bit of a sample of that.
Yeah, look, all started 16. Did an apprenticeship. Mechanical apprenticeship for a company.
Not here in Oz.
No, back in UK.
Yeah.
So when I was 16, didn't know what I was going to do when I left school. One of those. Yeah. I mean, you're talking, showing my age now, but 1978.
Yeah.
So what happened is applied for a number of jobs and managed to get 100% in my maths. And this company said, "Oh, great, we'll snap him up." So I signed up for an apprenticeship. It was mechanical.
Yeah.
The company was very old school, heavy engineering.
Yeah.
And we built and designed hydraulic presses. So you're talking 100-ton, if you can imagine. It's massive, like huge stuff, heavy, really heavy engineering. And just to put things into perspective, these machines were 3/4 underground, and then the rest was above. And they pressed out parts for the aerospace industry, the car industry. So it was really heavy engineering.
Yeah.
And so interesting. And I didn't have a clue what I was, doing initially and what I was getting myself into. Anyway, they paid for me to attend college for a full year.
Wow.
So 16, left school, into college, learning lots of metalwork and stuff like that. And it was all like-minded guys like myself, 16, from different schools.
Yeah.
And we had a bit of fun as well. So over the year, and I was getting paid. So like £25 a week, which is amazing. I was living at home with my mum, giving her 10 quid a week, and I've got this £15, which them days went a long way. So so we were being paid while I was training, and it was really, really good.
Yeah.
And then after the first year, I actually won Apprentice of the Year for the whole of Salford and Trafford. So there was a couple of hundred guys, students, and I won it. So I'm in the paper and everything, and it created a little bit of a few issues within the company when I actually went back, because there was a few of them who were a bit jealous.
Oh, really?
Apprentice of the Year.
Yeah.
And the main director took a shine to me.
Yeah.
And I had to sort of put up with some of the stick from the lads.
Well, that's what happens when you get Apprentice of the Year.
Yes, yeah. So I'm in the paper, my mum's there and everything. So it's really good.
That's so nice.
And then, so what happened then is...
You've always been a hard worker then?
Oh, mate. Paper rounds at 11.
Yeah.
Always. Because, I grew up middle, working class. Both parents worked. And I look back them days, it was pretty tough. You had to look after yourself. So it was interesting times, and we had nothing.
Yeah.
But you dealt with this thing in life, and you just got to carry on with it. So it's whatever you want to choose, and sometimes things get in the way.
Yeah.
But it was really interesting, the 10 years I had with this company. The training and the guys that were there was amazing. It really was a fantastic apprenticeship. I was factory based, and then when we built the presses, sometimes I'd go out and install them.
Yeah, okay.
And we'd also refurbish them as well, you see.
Yeah.
So working away from home at 18, 19, working 10 to 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, but the money was brilliant. So it allowed me to save as well. And also we were working in London, different places, you know, all the industrial parts. But you got to stay in some decent hotels as well. And at 18, it was really good. But the experience was really, really good.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And then after 10 years, I could see that it was a very old company, and things were changing. And so there'd been a few redundancies, and I thought, well, maybe now is the time to change. So one of my good friends, he worked for a smaller engineering company, and he said, look, Pete, there might be a vacant job there as a fitter, because I was a fitter at the time. Yeah. There might be a vacancy there. So I went for an interview, got the job, and what it was a company that did labelling machines. Yeah. So from heavy engineering down to small, like
really diversified
as much as the machines were only this big.
Yeah.
But all stainless steel and very clean. I mean, I was used to oily stuff, you know, so it was a bit of a culture shock as well to come down to that level. And then I was always interested in learning more, so I got into the machines. So I was building them first, and then I started to muck around and start testing them, and then suddenly I'm finding myself working my way up into the project office. Wow. So within 18 months, instead of building them, I was actually testing them and getting everything organised and ready. And doing project work, so project management work. So it was really, really good.
That's awesome. The fact that you're able to do that in 18 months as well is really good.
Yeah,
well done.
But I was wanting to learn all the time, you know, and you know, real estate's like that as well, as you know. And so that was 1988. So I bought my first house in 88 with my girlfriend at the time then. Yeah. It was 1930s, so it needed some work. Yeah. And being like hands-on fitty, I put a new kitchen in, lots of painting and decorating and whatever. So that was 88. And then we got married in sort of 92. Yeah. 3 years later, I've got 3 kids.
Didn't muck about.
So I've got 3 boys, and it was like full on. Yeah. So fortunately, I'd finished the house. I'd put a little conservatory on as well.
Work-wise, what you still do? Are you still with the same company?
Still with the same company. So really, I'd only had 2 jobs. Yeah. The big, heavy engineering and Harlan Machine Systems doing the labelling stuff. So I wasn't really one of those for flirting around different jobs and kind of thing. So 3 kids. House was getting a little bit smaller, so there was 5 of us, and so in the year 2000 we decided to move, and so we bought the worst house in the best street. Okay. Good and move. It was 5 bedrooms. It was, to me, it was gigantic. Yeah. And back in UK, you could do your own plumbing. Yeah. And wiring, and I rewired the house. I replumbed it, central heating, everything, and over the 4 years, we renovated it to an amazing standard. All the neighbours would come in and whatever, and that's really then when I got the passion of real estate. And I did sort of look at the local real estate agents, thinking, I can do that job. Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, and I was kind of building up to another change, but I didn't know where it was going to come from. Yeah. And then in 2003, the kids are getting older. I'm looking at future things, and the weather is always terrible in Manchester anyway. Yeah. And so I started to look at Australia and the opportunities, especially in Perth and things like that. My wife, she wasn't that keen. She was a podiatrist, well established. And over the time, I kind of worked on got brochures. Yeah. The kids used to go to a hairdresser, and he was going to Australia. So it kind of worked over 18 months. It kind of worked around. So cut long story short, we did and do the plunge. We sold the house.
Not yourself?
Pardon?
You didn't sell it yourself?
No. We got... Sorry, actually. Here's a story. So we got a couple of real estate agents in.
Yeah.
We were blown away by the price that we could get. And it was an affluent area. It was just, as I say, the worst house, but we made it look super duper.
Yeah.
And what was happening is, when we first bought it, 2000, the property prices were increasing. And as I was renovating, I was adding value as well. And so in 4 years, we were blown away when the real estate agent said you could get this. As it happened, we got talking to some of the neighbours, and they had a friend who said, we think they would buy it off you. And so we did. And that's what we did. So we didn't have to go through a real estate agent, which is, in our industry, is the worst thing.
Yeah, you're like, oh no.
So, but for us, it was amazing.
Yeah.
So we had this buyer, and then we could, apply to Australia and get the visas, and they came quite quickly because of skills and things like that, and three boys. Yeah. So that's what we did. We upped sticks. Never been to Australia. Never been to Perth. I didn't know what I was going to do for a job. It was like, okay, let's do it. And the kids, the eldest was 11, so it was high school. It was that time. It was like, do it now or that's it. Yeah. The other kids were 7 and 8.
Yeah.
And so we did. And all our goods went to Australia. We're still in the UK. It was scary. We flew out on Friday the 13th.
Right. Why did you do that to yourself?
I don't know. It was just the way it happened. Yeah. There's another story to it, but I could go on and on. But so we landed in Perth. Yeah. We had a 6-week rental to go to, a short term. Yeah. Okay, and it was in Hillary's. What happened? We landed, and it was raining, and it was cold. And even though it was May, the kids wanted to go to the beach, so we took them on the beach, and they said, "Oh, Dad, it's supposed to be sunny," and all this kind of thing. But we just had to say, "Okay, guys, look, this is how it is." We got them into school, and then my wife, she got a job in pediatry, so that helped the finance. We did buy a house after 6 weeks. We were fortunate because we made good money in the UK. Yeah. We had enough cash to buy it outright, so we didn't have a mortgage.
Lovely. Yeah.
But all them years prior had helped. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And so my wife, she was working, and then I'm thinking, what am I going to do? Yeah. I tried a few engineering companies. Didn't like it, thinking, I just don't know what I'm going to do. Something will turn up. Anyway, cut long story short, I saw an ad in the paper, David Evans Real Estate, looking for reps. Went for the interview, got the job. I was self-funded, so I had my own mobile and car anyway. Yeah. We were living in Sorrento, and the office, David Evans, was at Hillary's, Whitford's. Yeah. So it made sense. It was a 5-minute drive. And that was my intro into real estate.
Yeah, wow.
And it was an eye-opener.
Jeez, in the deep end straight away.
In the deep end. And at the time, I had to do my licence. And so as it happened, I did it with Brett.
Yeah, our licensee.
It's like crazy. And there's only me and him in the business after all those years. Yeah. So it's 20 years. It's actually coming up 20 years.
Wow.
And so I looked at Brett and thought, wow, who's this guy? He knows everything. Because I, coming from England, I didn't know what a title was or anything.
Yeah, and I think Brett had the mortgage broking background
he
as
did,
well. So he
did. Bit of that, so I'm thinking, I'm going to sit next to him. He knows his stuff. And we got on, we got on and we did the course. And then we went on holiday to Brisbane for a couple of weeks, and then I came back and started the real estate. So that was like October, November. Yeah. And with the good thing with David Evans was because it was a shopping centre,
Yeah.
And as a rep, you had to do, let's say, 2 shifts of 4 hours manning the office kind of thing.
Yeah.
So when people were looking at the window and they would come in, you'd look after them if it was a seller, but lots of buyers. We had lots of buyers shopping, looking through. There was lots of people still from England coming over.
Yeah.
And there was only 4,000 listings in like early 2006. So it was so hard.
Feels like similar times.
Yes.
To now.
So similar.
Yeah.
So similar. And all the top agents were getting the listings, of course. And I'm thinking, how am I going to earn a living? I was lapping it up because I was learning.
Yeah.
And I work the shop window. So people were coming in, I'd sit them down, and you know what? I did conjunctions.
Yeah.
I did about 8 or 9 conjunctions. Some agents weren't that happy.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm taking their commission.
Yeah.
But it was the only way I could get my teeth into learning.
For sure.
And, still some of them buyers I'm in contact with today.
Surely working with buyers first is probably a good way to make sure that you don't miss anything from the seller's point of view, because you know what buyers are expecting and what they're looking for, even when they look through the house, from building and pest inspections, final inspections.
Yes.
It just avoids sort of small issues that pop up.
Yes.
So that was probably a good way to start.
It was brilliant. And you sort of getting over your comfort zone as well. So there's so much to learn in real estate. That's the thing.
It's never ending.
And being English, I didn't know the Australian way. The UK.
And picked up the slang and lingo yet.
Oh, it's just such a learning curve.
Yeah, no gazumping and the rest of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank goodness for that.
Yeah. So I treated it as though it was my apprenticeship. That's how I looked at it. I was 43.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, wow, I'm starting again.
Yeah. Which can be daunting.
It was very daunting.
Yeah.
And I actually I made the decision to go door knocking. Yeah. Now that was out of my comfort zone.
Yeah, oh my word.
That was door knock. But I did so many appraisals, so many. And that got me the confidence to start talking to people, and it just started to flow then.
Yeah.
And the office was in a great position as well. If it was, let's say I was in the middle of nowhere, I think it would have been a lot...
Standalone office.
Yes, I think it would have been a lot different.
Buyers and people and
correct.
hustle and bustle was probably of benefit for sure.
So the timing was perfect.
That's so good.
Yeah.
And so how long were you with them? And what made you eventually evolve to then...
I was 2 years with David Evans Real Estate. Yeah. Once I'd start getting the listings, that was the real factor, because you do conjunctions, but to get your first listings, they were the aha moments.
Yeah,
that was
them. You're like,
because everyone else in the office is getting listings, and you're thinking, how am I gonna do it? How am I gonna do it? And yeah, that's how it happened, and that started to flow, and the confidence, and you started to build up. Then you see. And then over the 2 years, I got to know plenty of reps, lots of even business owners. Yeah. A few business owners had called me and say, "Oh, Pete, I see you're doing well. Do you fancy?" So I did do a few interviews.
Yeah.
But I wasn't quite ready for some reason. I just wasn't quite ready there. And then a guy that I ended up with business with, Terry Clark, his kids used to go to my kids' school, and we used to see each other, and he was working for a small place in Mullaloo. Yeah. They were under the First National brand. Yeah. And out of the blue, one day, he said to me, "Look, Kathy Willis, the director, she's thinking of selling her share in about a year's time. There's an opportunity to buy in. Are you interested?" And I thought, wow, I think this is the moment.
How exciting.
This is the moment. Wow. So I had to, get into my savings. Yeah. And basically, Kathy wanted to, I had to have an interview, all that kind of thing. And I had to prove myself as well before I could buy into the business.
So how long had you been? Was it the 2 years you'd been in real estate then? Or how long
So
had you been
2 years, yes, 6, 7, 8. So in 2008, June, I left David Evans, and I joined Oceanside, but it was part of the first national. Yeah. And then I was still getting listings, you see, and I still had to, so I really had to prove myself to Kathy that I was willing to take over a directorship.
Yeah.
Which was something that I didn't even envisage. So I let it flow, kind of thing.
Yeah. So you didn't enter real estate thinking, okay, I know exactly what I want to do. You just went, no, I'll just go day by day, enjoy it, take it as it is.
Yeah.
And then this opportunity popped up and you're thinking, oh, I'll have to think about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think some of it's a belief in yourself as well.
Yeah.
I thought this could be a really, it's off the tools. It's great. Yeah. The background I had with my engineering and clients, plus my renovation skills and things, it kind of made sense that real estate would be a good fit. Yeah. I just didn't realise how hard it would be for the first 2 years.
What would you tell someone who's thinking it's 9 to 5 and that it will be a 40-hour week and it will be easy?
Well, it's not, as you know. It's so different. You just have to be willing to put the effort in and get out your mind that it isn't a 9 to 5. But you can make that work for yourself. You can work late at night and have the mornings off, or some mornings, or some time. But
get out and play golf on a Monday.
Yes, yes, and it helps. But you've got to look after your own time. Yeah. Okay, and it's your business as well. So it is literally down to you. Yeah. So learning everything is of paramount, and keep learning.
Yeah, definitely. In terms of then taking over that licensee or director role at Oceanside,
yes,
what was the biggest learning in that? I'm sure you had to learn a few things pretty quickly.
Right. So what happened with me? What happened then? I bought Kathy's share and I became a director. And a few of us decided to do our licenses as well, you see. So rather than just being a rep, we took a day out for the full year, and we went to Joondalup and did our licenses. So
you just need a day?
It was a full day on a Tuesday, and to be honest, we think we can't do that. We're too busy. But we managed to take a day out, do the learning, and still sell and, run a business. As soon as I got my license, would you believe, I was thrown in at the deep end because the licensee then at that time decided to go and work on his own. And I'm thinking, what are we going to do? So I just put my hand up and said, look, we've done the license. Why don't I try it?
That's so good.
And that was scary. Because I was doing wages as well. It was like, this is all... It was really scary times.
Property managers come into it.
Yes, didn't know anything about property management. I'm trying to listen to the girls and trying to do listings, and it was so scary. And it was scary, but you think you just got to carry on because you're in it now. Yeah. Pete, you're a director. You've got to,
step to the plate.
Step it up. So that was a big learning curve. And then as we got into that, we decided to take another director on. So there was initially there was the three of us. One we bought out, and we brought somebody else on, you see, and he did work for Pete, and he did bring a few reps on and some ideas and things like that. Yeah. What we then decided is to bring another licensee in, an experienced one, and then I could function then back on the tools of selling. And that's what we did for a number of years. And that's what you wanted? You wanted to be selling. And I wanted to do that. I didn't want to be stuck in the office all the time. I had this vision, but I didn't see myself as a licensee. Yeah. But the experience was brilliant, because it really put you in the deep end.
What was your biggest learning from that role that you took on as that licensee?
Well, I think the understanding, the back end, the compliance side of it was, when you look back, scary, because you've got to have audits. You're responsible. The book, it stays with you, mate. That's it. You're under your umbrella, and if anything goes wrong, including reps, it's down to you. So I was pretty, because in my previous job I was used to paperwork. I was that helped as well. Yeah. So you've got to make sure that I was checking all the contracts and stuff like that, and I was pretty good at spotting mistakes. So I was confident on that side.
Yeah, I feel like the average agent doesn't know a contract well enough. I feel like they let so much slide. And
yes.
There's so much that will come back to bite you if you don't go through it. Yeah. And even previous experiences where people have bought or sold a couple properties, just the fact that if you stop and go through the contract page by page, they're almost shocked. They're like, oh, thanks for going through that, because the last time I sold a property, or 3 years ago, they just dropped it off and said, sign here.
Yes.
And that was it.
Yeah.
Your settlement agent will help you with that.
Yes. Yeah. But that's why doing the licensed course makes you really get into the nitty-gritty of the contracts.
Yeah. And I think that's something that down the track I definitely want to do. I'm
yes.
sure it's not going to take me one day. I'm sure it's going to take a bit longer now.
Yeah.
And that led me to another question, where how did you know if you wanted to be in a team or not, if you knew you wanted to be a solo agent? Is that something that you always just felt like that's just how you wanted? Obviously, you stepped to the plate where you actually were managing other people,
yes,
but not directly where you had an assistant and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've kind of always been responsible for me, as a sole entity. And then having the business was a different learning curve. I quite liked it, getting involved with staff and stuff, but it does take a lot of your time. Yeah. And
more emotions on a regular basis.
Dealing with staff.
Lives,
Yeah. And everyone's got stories, everyone's got things happening in their lives, and you have to use your years of experience to not upset them, and all that kind of thing. So it's been brilliant.
Yeah. Well, both staff and clients alike. Even clients, we were having a chat just before that you feel like you've got to be a chameleon and you've got to wear multiple hats, where you're a counsellor, you're an accountant, you're a lawyer, you're all of this. And it feels like the more you're able to just listen to people and actually hear what they have to say, the better you'll be for it as well.
Yeah.
In terms of even just small things, as you said, just looking after even the buyers. A lot of people neglect buyers.
Yes.
And you're one for really looking after buyers.
Yeah.
What advice would you give agents who are trying to get their foot in the door and they aren't too sure how to handle buyers in the beginning of their career?
I would say, look, just be yourself.
Yeah.
They're human beings, right? They've got a story. Everyone's got a story. Just be yourself. Help them as much as you can. Everyone's different as well, but working with buyers, look, at the end of the day, they're your future sellers, and that's a big key. But it's long term, and some people,
delayed
they want
gratification,
the short term, and I've had people coming back from me from 15 years, 17 years.
Oh, you must be doing something right, Pete.
So you've got to, but at the time, you don't realise, and so this is where the training comes in, the coaching, all that kind of thing, because it's a long game. It's a big, long game. But over those years, it becomes fruitful for your achievements, working with people. And look, at the end of the day, we're working for money and financially as well, but it takes time.
Yeah.
It takes time.
How long do you think it takes roughly to kind of get yourself established and back in or in a groove where if someone's a new agent coming into it, they are thinking, in the first 3-6 months, I'm going to be selling, 20, 30 properties?
Yeah, I think it's 2 years.
Yeah.
I think that 2 years, I did my apprenticeship.
Yeah.
And I thought, this is going to take 2 years to really get into it. So the hardest bit is the financial side. I was lucky enough to have a wife, a partner who was earning decent money.
Yeah.
So that offset the 8 conjunctions. I probably earned about 10 grand, just like crazy, at the time.
Definitely.
I think it's that continuity of keeping going yourself is the important bit, and it's a 2-year apprenticeship, and you've just got to lap it up. You've just got to take it all in. You can't let it beat you if you want and decide that's the career for you.
Yeah,
and I'm sure every real estate agent can vouch for that.
Yeah, jeez,
it's a long haul.
It is, and I think even just how do you deal with making sure you stay consistent and deal with rejection? I mean, we were fortunate enough where we did a pretty good training session only a few days ago where we did, everyone was in a room, we sat down, we did some calls. For people who are like, I can't get on the phone, I'm too nervous.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to them?
I do think the training is still important, even for established reps.
Yeah.
Okay, it gives you a refocus. It happened to me, as I said to you on Thursday. Picking up the phone more. Speaking to clients who have not spoke to in 6 years, and it's, "Hi Pete, how are you going?" And sometimes you feel a bit nervous that you're going to be ringing them, thinking, are they going to reject you after all this time? But my philosophy has been, I did that groundwork at the beginning. I was good with buyers, I was good with sellers. You put the effort in, and that was set. So sure. I'm pretty confident that I can pick up the phone and speak to any of my database, and hopefully most of them will say, "Hey Pete, how are you going?"
That's what you want. And I found even over the last few years that obviously going from Oceanside and joining and merging with Remax, you've been great with relationships. You're definitely a people person in terms of making sure that everyone's looked after, crack a joke, easy to talk to.
That's good.
And that leads you to obviously building good relationships with people, where I'd love to pick your brain, obviously, how you've got in contact again or reignited a good relationship you had with some builders, and how making sure that you have good relationships and just treat people the way you want to be treated leads you to multiple opportunities. And so how did that come across your desk?
Look, I think with real estate, you have to have an open mind and be aware of potential that's out there. 6 or 7 years ago, I came across these guys that were building. They were only young at the time, the electrician and the plumber. They were building in Callaroo. And I approached them. I didn't know they were the actual, because they were the builders as well, and they were doing the work, but I didn't know they were the owners. Got talking to him, long story short, I said, "Look, I'm selling in the area. When are you looking for a rep and stuff like that?" And I sort of quickly built that relationship with them. But as they were building, I made sure that I was regularly going round to see them. So they saw I was interested. I wasn't just, yes, I want the work, but if you show that interest, they could see that. And I followed that through for quite a few months, from when they were bricklaying right up to, and had that working relationship with them, and sold 6-9 properties for them over the number of years. They did go with another real estate agent recently, 2 years ago, just because it was out of my area and they thought that I wouldn't be selling there. So naturally, I kept in touch with them. And as it happened, it didn't work out brilliantly for them with this agent. And with keeping in touch, it allowed me to further enhance the relationship. So they came back to me, they were building 4 units in Inaloo and 4 in Osborne Park, and I've just sold the 6. I've got 2 left. And
such a great opportunity.
It's a brilliant opportunity. And now I'm the preferred agent, and they've already got...
As you should be.
Yes. And they've got land in Inaloo for the next 5 months that's coming on. So I've got that working relationship with them. And look, don't get me wrong, you take nothing for granted.
Yeah.
You still got to give the service, no matter how familiar you are with them, give them the service. Do what you would do to someone new, but keep it going. Yeah. That was the key, I think, is be yourself, but still give them that service throughout, because you don't want complacency.
No.
Because people can change. People will
pick up on that as well, though.
Yes.
If you start taking longer to respond, a text that normally will take you 30 seconds to respond,
Correct.
and then they get a response 2 days later, or an email they sent on Monday, you respond on Thursday,
Yes.
and things like that you get too comfortable. People pick up on that.
They do. So nothing for granted, that's for sure.
Jeez. In terms of what's on the cards for you for the future, you're obviously enjoying being at Remax, which is nice. Are you working on anything at the moment in particular? I know you said you obviously got your pocket in Callaroo that you're doing. What are you focusing on now to re-establish yourself in an area? Because obviously there's lots of people, even new agents. How would you go about just trying to put your foot in the door in a suburb?
Well, I'm fortunate because over the years I've built relationships, and even some of them are going back 10 or 15 years.
Yeah.
And funny enough, with the recent training we've had with Jess, it's been, even though I'm established, I'm wanting to crank it up a little bit more. And picking up the phone with my database. So I'm pretty confident that the people I do ring, they know me.
Yeah. And I think you're going to smash it because you're always looking for what you can do more. You're always thinking, okay, what's the next thing I can do?
Yeah.
Even small things, and I love this, the piece of advice you gave me is when just get your notebook out, write a note, tear it out, literally tear out the page, write 20 of them, pop them in the letterboxes.
Yeah, handwritten. Yeah.
Tear them out, put it in.
Yeah.
And then a week later, you just do the same thing, but you write a slightly different note and you scrunch them up. And you're thinking, I threw that in the bin. And then they open it out of their letterbox going, I just thought I'd touch base. That is so good. That is one of the best pieces of prospecting that I've taken on board. I haven't executed the second part with the crunch ball.
That's different.
I need to do it. I need to do it.
Just do it. Have a bit of fun.
It is so much fun with that. And the texts I get from people who have said, did you leave a handwritten note? My question mark. And it's just the response. It's a foot in the door, and then the next time you just drop an actual report or an under offer fly or just listed. Yeah. It's just the start of a relationship. Yes. Even if you get a negative text back or anything, you've been recognised.
And you've broke the ice.
That's it.
Yeah.
That was so good.
And I've passed them nuggets on to quite a few people I've known over the years. Yeah. Because when I first saw it myself, I didn't believe it. I'm thinking, you can't do that. And to be honest, in this market, this day and age, everything is AI or is emails and texts and stuff. Going back to old school, some parts I think are important because not many people are doing it. So that handwritten note, massive.
Personal touch.
Personal.
Nothing can beat that. AI can't do personal touch.
No.
New technology can't do that unless they're going to create an AI robot that can do, that can handwrite.
Well, they probably will, but it's the follow through. Yeah. And it's when you get the call from that handwritten note, I tell you, that is a sense of achievement. It's a brilliant
the energy
factor
around it as well that you get from it, and the fact that you can even just getting the call from it, you'll be like, oh, even if they said that they're not interested, or or they'll call you and be like, oh, I'm so intrigued. Yeah, what buys do you have in the area? Or I'd love a 15-minute update. Whatever you write down in that. Yeah. But the fact it's torn, it's straight out your book.
Well, the fact that they've actually read it, because let's face it, we're all bombarded with DL flyers and things. They go in the bin, right? Yeah. So someone's read that, and that's the key.
People's attention is the most important thing at the moment. Yeah. And that's why I think even just doing something different, even if you didn't want to do that, even just putting things in letters. compared to
Yes.
just the DL. People open letters, and then you've got your foot in the door, and it's more likely to have been read than just a flyer that they go, oh yeah, here's the 5 of these, they're in the bin.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a letter. Okay, yeah, let me
Yes.
just open that up.
Yeah.
Just small things like that. Where it's
It-
like, oh,
it
people
is.
will actually read that, even if they get a little bit frustrated. They go, oh, I've just had to open that.
Yeah.
They'll just bin it anyway.
Yeah.
It will catch that 1 or 2 people that will be like, oh, that was good information. I'm not quite ready, but the next thing they see of your face, they'll be like, oh yeah, I've just seen a signboard. Is a call flute.
Something different.
Yeah, that's it.
That's good.
So that's there was another book that we said before that you recommended.
Eat That Frog.
Yes.
Brilliant.
I need to
I'd
read
recommend anyone. It's a short book.
Give us a 30-second summation of
it
Eat That
is
Frog.
Do the hard stuff first. Okay. The stuff that you know is on your list, right, and you don't really want to do it, whether it's a phone call or some kind of problem. Eat that frog, do that job, and you'll feel 100% better.
I heard a great quote from someone where they said, I can't remember who it was exactly, but it was either the success and magic is in the work you're avoiding.
Correct.
And I thought that's great.
That's brilliant.
And that's very similar to Eat the Frog.
It is.
It's where you just got to do it.
Just got to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you will feel better.
Yeah.
But it's that consistency of being aware. And, you know, this business, you have to pull, if you're on a downer, you have to pull yourself out of it. Whether you go and see the licensee or someone like yourself or some, you know, other, just talk to people, because everyone's been through it.
Yeah.
And everyone has their ups and downs, whether it's personal, job-wise, you know, it's not a perfect life.
Yeah.
That's the key. But you've always got to have a smile on your face.
Yeah, if you and I know this one because I listened to the podcast of this guy, Alex Hormozy. He goes, "Oh, if you can be unhappy for no reason, you might as well be happy for no reason."
It's so true,
and that's so good. And look, I really appreciate your time. I thought I'd just ask you a final question. Obviously, I've ventured off by myself this year, so it's been 7 months that I've been doing my thing solo. Do you have any advice for me for the back end of the year, or even just in general for trying to make sure I can get the most out of the next 6 or 5 months?
You know, I've only sort of known you for 3 years, and you know, in and out of the office. I've seen you come on from your team, and then have that venture of going on your own. That's massive for you. Yeah. That's like a massive step, and kind of reminds me a little bit of what I did. Yeah. So you know, we've got lots of stuff in common, and I've seen you grow. Which is really, really nice. And my years of experience, I'd love to have another chat. We'll have coffees together and pass out some more information, because I've got quite a bit. Yeah. But just for you, you're really doing well. It's difficult when you're in it, okay, because you're in the zone. For me, looking at you, I see you growing. Okay, you don't necessarily see yourself growing as much because you're in it all the time. Yeah, but as an agent on the outside, look, you're doing podcasts, you're doing loads of stuff that others are not doing. And your enthusiasm and your particular and your personable and all that kind of thing is awesome. And you're going places, man.
You're too kind.
Because you've got the attitude. Yeah. And as long as you maintain that, you'll do well. And I've heard you on the phone. You're brilliant with clients. You definitely remind me we've got this common thing going on. And I think you just keep doing what you're doing. And you're training as well. You're doing more training than I ever did.
Yeah, that definitely helps in terms of, you know, if you're not sure what to do, having someone tell you, look, let's just strip it back, keep it simple. That helps a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, but I can't wait to. I'll start looking at my old notebooks, and I'll get you some more nuggets. Yeah, because the old stuff sometimes does work really well.
Yeah, look, and this was obviously it was crazy how quickly time flies. We'll definitely, even in at the end of the year or in another few episodes, I'd love to get you back on.
Yeah, it'd be great.
In another 6 months or so, that would be great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Pete. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Jordan.
Cheers.
Thank you, mate.